sit in and get with you, baby, tonight. I don't wanna love, I don't wanna fight. I don't wanna have to tell you all the things I know. I don't wanna stay, but I don't wanna go. I don't wanna be the lover in your arms. I don't wanna be the one to keep you from home. I don't wanna be the crooked person in your heart. I don't wanna stop, but I don't wanna stop. Part-time lover, how we suffer now. I don't wanna waste no more of your precious time. I don't wanna say that everything will be fine. I don't wanna feel your tears on my skin. I'm a coward, baby, don't let me in. Part-time lover, how we suffer now. So I don't wanna sit in and get with you, baby, tonight. I don't wanna love, I don't wanna fight. I don't wanna have to tell you all the things I know. I don't wanna stay, but I don't wanna go. I am a poor wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world of war. There is no sickness, toil nor danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my mother. I'm going there, no more to roam. I'm just going over Jordan. I'm just going hush, little darling, don't say a word. I'm gonna buy you a mockingbird. Say, darling, say. And if that mockingbird don't sing, I'm gonna buy you a diamond ring. Yes, and I know that diamond ring. Yes, I know that diamond ring is gonna shine. Darling, if you'll marry me, I'll buy you a house with a big oak tree. Say, darling, say, we'll live in the house with the big oak tree. 3 little babies on your knee. Yes, and I know that diamond ring. Yes, I know that diamond ring is gonna shine. So hush, little darling, don't say a word. I'm gonna buy you a mockingbird.
Good day, this is Thumbs United. We're doing the kind of second to last episodes of, well, grouping projects of Project Park. We did the 3D editing, animation, and color grading. And now we have 4 more episodes to do in VR. And they're like 15 to 20 minute episodes each. This one is about 12 minutes of content. Each VR photograph will play for 40 seconds. So you can see it's not that many VR photographs. This is going to be a shorter stream. I plan to finish all 4 episodes, and we're not doing any animation because that wouldn't look good in VR. But I am going to be just color grading all of them. And yeah, so that's the plan. And I want to get them all done, all 4 episodes of the VR done. And then tomorrow I will be streaming, working on the 4K version, 4K episode. And it might be multiple episodes. I don't know how I'm going to divide it. And that will be it. And I'm trying to get this all done before Friday. So hopefully the 4K version will be done. And it will be ready to render, and then I'll do the test rendering and everything to make sure everything comes out right. And then I'm going to write the script for all the episodes. So right now with the VR there's 9 episodes, and there's going to be more with the 4K. 4K is probably going to be 3 or 4 episodes. And yeah, so let's get started. So I am going to do an adjustment layer the way I've been editing the color grades before, because they're all GoPro footage. I don't have to worry about the JVC camera, and so I don't have to color grade the color so much. It's just more the tone, the brightness, and the contrast. And so I edit that using the curves, and that lets me control how bright the light is and how dark I want the darks. So this has already been pre-grouped. We did it in last night's episode, and I've divided it into projects. So that's why there's only this short amount of photos, because they have all been divided. So there was about an hour worth of content in VR, and so I split that up into 15 and 20 minute episodes. I'm just gonna set this up before we do the coloring. And this allows me to apply the same coloring to multiple photographs, so it helps speed up the process. And I have to do this in the video editor. I can't do this in Lightroom. Because Lightroom has a hissy fit if you changed the photos. And so what the workaround is, I could have Lightroom import a folder and then do the color changes, and then close Lightroom. Well, do the color changes, export them, and then close Lightroom, replace the other folder with the left eye or the right eye, whichever is the opposite, and then open Lightroom again, and you can export again. And it should do the same color adjustments, but like Lightroom knows when you change the photos, even if they have the same name, it checks the metadata and everything. So it does have a little bit of a hissy fit if you start changing things around. So that's why I do it mostly in the video editor, because the video editor doesn't care about metadata. It just goes by file name and kind of the frame numbers. yeah, not a lot of... This should go by very fast. Very fast. So I will definitely be able to... Look at this. There's like all these photos, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's only 11 color changes we have to make. And they're all pretty simple. So I'm going to save this. And this episode is just called Trees. And it's VR Trees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to brighten the image. And then I'm going to increase the contrast. So I'm making the darkers brighter. But at a certain point, the darks cut off and they'll go really dark. So that's why I bring this down over there. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. And brightening it, but then shortening the dark point cutoff. I'm actually going to split this and do something else here. Okay, and I'm going to change the white balance to something more make it more blue, because most of these, I think this one is pretty blue. This one's a little too purple. And I'm going to shift that. Make it more warm. Kind of make the greens come out, so see it looks more like that. So they all look more similar now. So that was like probably the most complicated color grade we're gonna have to do, and it was pretty simple. So and editing the curves, it's a way to, they call it like tone mapping, and it's a way you can increase the dynamic range of a photograph without using HDR techniques. And so an HDR photograph is when you take multiple photographs on a tripod of the exact same thing but at different exposures. And so you expose for, like, you take a image that is too bright, then you take it a little less bright, a little bit less bright, till it's too dark, and then you keep on going till it's even darker. And what that lets you do is you get all the detail in the really bright things when you shoot underexposed. So things like the sky and the clouds, things that would normally be overexposed, like what would be over here, you get in perfect definition. But then also things over here that are like really dark, when you're shooting it too bright, you get all the detail from there. And so it's wider, it's a way to get a wider range of image, of wider dynamic range. So you get, more vibrant colors, and it looks really surreal. And so you can do it that way by taking multiple exposures, or you can kind of do this, which is more natural. And this is just called tone mapping, where you change how the computer processes the brightness and contrast. So instead of doing like just increasing the brightness to the whole image, when you raise it up here, it only things that are bright will get brighter. When you edit down here, it makes the darkers, everything that's darker. And so that's the way you can play with your dynamic range, and it works very good in very well in on raw photos. And so there, because it records, you know, exactly what the image sensor sees, and it doesn't compress it. And so tone mapping is really good for that. It's also good for, because it's easy to do single photos relatively quickly. Like these that are taking me like 15 to 20 seconds. And it would be faster if I wasn't talking. But okay, last one. And so, like I said, this is going to be a short stream. Mainly because I just wanted to get this VR stuff done before tomorrow. I believe I have the other project set up for the 4K. And the 4K we're just going to have to we have to organize it into episodes, and then we have to do the animation, and then we don't have to do the color grade because it's 35mm photos and it's not 3D or VR. I can edit those in Lightroom and export them, so we're only working with color graded material, so I don't have to fix the colors in the video editor. But this project, the VR, it's in 5K, so I mean technically this is a 5K project, but because it's in VR, it's a little different how that works. Okay, so I'm going to open the next one. So hold on. I just have to save this, make sure it's saved, and then this next project is called the greenhouse, and it's about the same length. This one's 14 minutes. I think the other one was 12 minutes. Okay, so here it is. And again, I'm going to go through and do the adjustment layer because it saves time. And it also helps you organize, like instead of doing the effects, because you can change the coloring right on the photo strip, but this allows you to, because you can toggle the adjustment layer on and off, and so it's just easier way to organize all your effects. And I still do this, like I'm working in Blender right now. But I will still do this in like Avid or Premiere. And this technique works in both of those. I prefer Avid. It's just a little bit more reliable, and I feel like it uses resources better. But Premiere is cheaper, and that's nice, and works well with Photoshop and everything else because it's the same company. But for everything now, I use Blender. Blender is open source. It works on Linux, it works on Mac. I know I can take this project to my Linux PC and it will render it, and then I can take it to my Mac and it will render it, or I could render it on my Windows machine. I don't have to worry. And like Adobe products don't work on Linux. I feel like they don't take full advantage of Windows. They work pretty good on Mac. But same problem with Avid. But it takes better advantage of Windows. So there's more of a range of color edits we have to do in this one. So it'll take a little longer than the last one, but not that long. We can count. There was like 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh no, it's the same amount. It just felt longer. So now we do the curves. And they're all similar color ranges, so we don't have to change the white balance. This one's a little more complicated because the darks are like really dark. So but I don't want it to be, I want to cut down on kind of the haze. I'm just going to simplify it. And that's like the best we can do. We're like almost done. So things are going better with my grandmother. We got her to eat a lot. She saw the doctor today, and the doctor gave us some recommendations of things we can do. So hopefully they work out. Essentially the problem is with her sleeping, and that's bringing on other issues. Like we have a baby monitor, so we can make sure she's staying in bed, and all night, just all night she's up, just kind of like shaking her head or rubbing her hands or something, or rocking back and forth. And then the morning comes, and she hasn't slept at all at night, and so then she comes down and we feed her breakfast again, and then she goes and naps, and she takes like 2 or 3 long naps throughout the day, and then can't sleep at night. And you might be wondering, well, just not let her nap. And so we've tried that, and it doesn't, her sleep schedule doesn't go back, like it just does not. And we tried melatonin and everything, and that didn't work. So now we have a new treatment plan, and so hopefully that works, because she's starting to be kind of grumpy. I mean, she has her kind of, we call them hissy fits, but they're like meltdowns, and she refuses to eat and everything. And so it's like, and so the doctor said that if she gets her sleep back to sleeping through the night, those should go. The meltdowns or hissy fit should be reduced, and it should also help with digestion, so she should get her appetite back. So fingers crossed that's what happens. Okay, we're moving over to the third project, and I'll open that up. Just gonna save this one more time because I'm paranoid, like almost OCD. Okay, this next one is the architecture one. This one's gonna be a little bit more complicated, I think. It's shorter. It's only 11 minutes long. So I'll bring it up. And I have to go to my college. I have to do paperwork with them, and then put in my degree application. And fingers crossed I get it. The last time I went to the counselor, there was only one more. There were 3 classes I need, and I took 2 of them in winter semester and then 1 in the spring semester. And to get into the one in the spring semester, I had to actually do a degree audit to make sure it was the last class I needed. So, because I passed it, I mean, logically, that's it. But I've had such hard problems with the counselors that I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, whoa, there's one more class you have to take. I'd be so disappointed. All these late nights are caught up with me for the past like 5 days. I've been going to bed around 4 in the morning, and it's because of you guys streaming into the night. I stream till like 2, and then I have other, like after the stream I do a little bit of extra work to give my computers things to render overnight. But I'm like legitimately tired, which is good. It's 12:30 Eastern time. And so before I wasn't even tired at 4 in the morning, and so I'd lay in bed till about 5 and then fall asleep sometime. Then but I have to get my sleep schedule back to normal because I'm going to start waking up earlier, and then working while it's cooler. And we're getting to the point where I work gardening and everything, and there's just a lot of, not creepers, but it's getting difficult to garden later in the day. So I have to do it like early morning when everyone's at work. Oh. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Only 10 color grades we have to do. So this one's technically simpler. There's not a lot that I saw we have to change the white balance for. So this should go by pretty fast. Again, I'm just brightening the images and bringing up the contrast. And the VR distortion, I just finished about an hour ago. It finished doing the distortion for these images. The ones we were looking at right now. This is just the image flat. I had the computer. It was computing how to project this onto a sphere, and so that just gives the distortion. So when you're looking in VR, it doesn't look like you're stuck in a sphere. It looks like you're actually looking out at something. So all VR photos and videos have to be kind of in that format. So I wrote a program that will go through and put these images in the format. And so instead of doing every frame, I'm just doing the image in the format, and then when it comes to the render doesn't care. It's just going to draw the image. And so all the images it draws, all the frames will automatically be in the correct format. But I'm doing all the VR photographs we selected in the past streams for the New York project and for this project. And so in total it was 757 photographs. And I kind of calculated, like just in my head, how long it would take, and I thought my kind of rough estimation was 36 hours, but it slowed down for a little bit, so it ended up taking closer to 40 hours. So I was 4 hours off, but it finished. And so these are also stereoscopic. It's stereoscopic VR or 3D VR, and so now it's doing the right eye. So in about another 40 hours, probably Saturday in the evening, those will be done, and then I'll be able to render the 3D stuff and the VR stuff. So that's good. I'm getting a little distracted talking so much. I only have 3 more adjustments to make. And the last one. Okay. We're done with this one. And just hold on while I open the next one, and then we're going to be done with this stream. I have to get to bed. I want to get to bed by 2 at least, and like be asleep by 3. And then, I mean, like, it sounds ridiculous that I'm going to bed at 4 or 5 in the morning, but I'm not really worried about it because I'm still sleeping like an acceptable amount of time. If I was sleeping much less, then I'd be worried. But it's better hours. I just have to get back and get those shifted back to kind of morning hours. So here we have the last one. This last one is the longest one. It's about 20 minutes. So we're going to start the same way as the other ones. Just adding the adjustment layer. And the reason why this is going so much faster than the other projects is because I don't have to do the animation. The animation with 3D and VR would be disorienting, and it wouldn't work well, and it'd be too difficult to render. Instead of the spherical thing being rendered at the photo level, it would have to be rendered every frame of the video, so that would take like years. Not really years, it would take like months to do one video. I couldn't decide what I wanted to do. So we'll see if these topiaries are all the same color, like that one. This one has to change color. Yeah, I don't know why. Just for this one, it did it in a cooler color. This was close to sunset. And then we have our lily pads. And the cool images in terms of color temperature, but this one's a little too warm. Yeah, and see, it was a one-off. Like there, it's warm, and then it's back to being cool. Cooler color temperatures. We are going to get rid of this one. And cooler color temperatures just mean more blues, purples, technically greens. Those are all cool colors. And then warm colors are like orange, yellow, red. It's just kind of colors you think of, like if you think of hot things. Like red is hot, orange things are hot, yellow is kind of hot, and then cool is just blue. And things that you would like associate with, cooler things, like ice and everything. And so what's interesting about the color temperature is the color temperatures change throughout the day, but our eyes compensate for everything, and our eyes actually compensate for a lot. If you're in a room with blue light, eventually you'll stop seeing the blue light because your eyes will correct so much that it will try to make it look normal. And so if you go out of the room into a room with blue light and you go into a room that's just normal light, normal white light, everything will look extremely red, and but your eyes will eventually compensate because like in the room that was blue, your eyes tried to make everything add more red to compensate for the blue. And then once you go back to a room with white light, it's still compensating, so it has to transition. And kind of an interesting thing you can do is if you're lying in bed with your smartphone with the lights off, which you shouldn't have your smartphone in your bed, but everyone does anyway, including me. But if you just reach your phone with one eye open and the other eye closed, if you turn on the lights, like you have to read for like 2 or 3 minutes. You just look at the smartphone, and then when you turn on the lights, one eye will be considerably more underexposed. Everything will be darker, and the eye you had closed, everything will be really bright. And so your eyes will adjust independently of each other. So that's a cool little thing you can do to test out the image changes. And so the early 3D with the red and the blue, that the reason why it's kind of acceptable to do red and blue is your eyes will average out the red and blue until it kind of sees natural color. So over time, it will look like full color, and you're not wearing red or green, red or blue. It's actually red and cyan glasses, but it takes like 10 or 15 minutes for your eyes to adjust completely to that 3D. And then when you take those glasses off, it's like, whoa, everything's weird. And so one eye will actually compensate for the blue and add more red color, and then the other eye will add more red, will add more blue to compensate for the cyan, which is a shade of blue. And so, like, your eyes will forgive bad colors. They'll forgive images that the color grade's not right. Oh, and so the whole point is throughout the day, early in the morning, the color temperature during the day is cool, and so everything's more blue. More blues, purples, and just cooler colors. And so if you go out and take photos in the morning, you can expect kind of not cool photos. I mean, more cool photos, not warm photos. And then if you go and take pictures at sunset, which is closer to here, and can't really see it too well here, but this is sunset. The problem is this is sunset in the shade, so it's like here you see this is all getting warmer, and this is, I mean, it looks cool because you're in the shade, but like here it's very very warm, a lot of yellows and everything. My dog wants to go outside, but she can't right now. I'm gonna take her out in a second. She has demands. Okay, I'm gonna edit this real quick, and then that will be the end of the stream. And thanks for tuning in. And then tomorrow is Creative Friday, so I will be we'll be doing more of this project. We're gonna be working on the 4K episodes. And there's like not a lot of complicated things we have to do. The next complicated one is this one. And this is going to be the most complicated color grade we have to do. And like I said before, it's simple. You just have to get it to be more yellow. And I'm gonna darken it a little bit so it looks just like that. And I was like, where are you? I know you're down there. I'm coming. I told my dog I'm coming, and she said, no, I'm coming to you. Hello, Zoe. I'm coming. I'm coming to let you out. Let you out. Sit. 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 Okay. Okay, I took my dog to the restroom. She was like demanding. She actually came to my office and looked me in the eye and was like, "You have to take me now." And then we go. Barely had to go. And I was like, seriously? But she's extremely smart, and I think she's training us. I don't think we're training her. I think she wants us to think we're training her, but she's really training us. She's training the whole neighborhood. She made friends with the neighbor's kid, and so the neighbor's kid will give her dog treats. So it's funny because every once in a while we let our dogs out. We have a fence that they can't get over, and so the dog will just go and sit by the neighbor's house waiting for the new friend she made to come out and give her a treat. She's like, oh my goodness. She would betray us in a second for an extra treat. And we were like, what kind of good guard dog are you? Okay, we're almost done. Okay, so we're done. Let's just double check. I didn't really like this one. It's a little too dark. That's better. That's why we double check. These are really hard because it was so bright. These are high noon, so the light is extremely white. This one we have to change the white balance. You gotta look more like these, and it does. Okay, now we're really done. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Friday we're doing the creative stream. Creative Friday. I should be streaming in the morning, and I'm not sure what time in the morning. Probably between 11 and 1 p.m. 11 in the morning and 1 p.m. Early afternoon. And then there's going to be the late night creative stream. And that's going to be sometime between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. Eastern time. So, thanks for coming out. I'll see you tomorrow in the late morning or early afternoon. Good night. Hope everyone has a good rest of the day. And bye-bye.